Okay, we're moving on to our geometry unit, and today our topic is going to be circumference and area of circles. So you're going to do the circumference and the area of circles. And what I mean by that, you're going to be able to calculate the circumference and area, or you're going to be able to find a missing dimension if you're given the circumference or area. Keyword here, circumference, is distance around. It is the perimeter of the circle. So it's around the circle. If I have a circle, my circumference is around it, not in it. It's around it. The formula for circumference is 2 times pi times r. 2 pi r is what we say. R is the radius, and pi, as 7th graders, you use 3.14. Another formula that a lot of students use, circumference is also equal to pi times the diameter of a circle. So it's 2 times pi times the radius, or pi times diameter. Here's why. Radius is half of a circle. This is radius, half of a circle. Well, then the diameter is 2 halves. That's where that comes from. Diameter is all the way across a circle, given that it goes through the center. Okay, as long as it goes through the center of the circle. If it goes from the center to halfway, that's radius. If it goes all the way across and goes through the center, that's diameter. If it doesn't, what color have I not used? Green. If it doesn't and it just goes across, oopsies, and just goes across, that's called a chord. So radius, halfway across, going through the center. Diameter, all the way across, going through the center. Chord just goes across. Does not go through the center. And then I have some examples. Diameter is 2 times the radius. Radius is half of diameter. So diameter divided by 2. Got it? Properties. Now we're going to apply the formula. Find the circumference. So C equals 2 times pi times the radius, or pi times the diameter, if I'm given the diameter. Okay, so when I look at a circle, I just think, which circumference formula am I going to use? Here I'm given a diameter, so I'm going to use pi times diameter. So my circumference is equal to pi. I usually actually put that second. My diameter times pi, which is 3.14. 4 pi, which is 4 times 3.14, which is something that I'm going to calculate. 12.56 inches. So the circumference of the circle, now again, you have to understand what circumference is. It means around the circle. Around the circle is 12.56 inches. Okay, the next one, I'm given diameter again. I'm given the whole diameter, so I'm going to use the one with diameter. So 6.2 times pi, which is 6.2 times 3.14, which is 19.5, rounded, in centimeters. Next one, I'm given radius, so I'm going to use 2 times pi times my radius. So 2 times 3.14 times my radius is 7.5. So 6.28 times 7.5, 47.1 miles. And that's target number 1. Find circumference given radius or diameter. Next, we are going to find the diameter or the radius given the circumference. how we do that, we work backwards. We use algebra to solve. I have interesting steps. I have plug what you know into the equation. Use 3.14 for pi. This is a long strategy. And then solve. So you use a formula, and then you solve. So let's find the radius if the circumference is equal to 15.7. So since I'm looking for radius, I use this formula. Okay? Because I'm looking for radius, so I want r. So I know my circumference, and I know what pi is, and I'm looking for r. What's 2 times 3.14? 6.28. So 15.7 equals 6.28 times the radius. Now how do I get rid of 6.28? Right? Divide. So I'm going to go 15.7 divided by 6.28 is 2.5. That's my radius. Okay, if the circumference of a circle is 56.5, find the diameter. So I use my diameter formula. Pi times d is equal to my circumference. Diameter formula is way easier because you don't have to worry about the 2. So 56.5 is equal to 3.14 times my diameter. And now I just divide. And 18 is equal to my diameter. That's it. So we've done 2 things. We found circumference, we just used the formula. We found a missing dimension using algebra. Now we're going to move to area of circles. Area is filling in the circle. Filling in the circle. Area is filling it in. It's coloring it in. That's what area is. And how you find area is pi r squared. So 3.14 times r times r. Find r, square it, times it by 3.14. So again, this is a lower regular level. We're just going to apply the formula. Find the area of the following circles if there's a radius of 5. So area would equal 3.14 times 5 squared. Which is 3.14 times 25. Which is 78.5 square units, whatever it is. Because it's area. Area is square. Okay, next one is diameter. You can't just use diameter. That's the biggest 7th grade mistake. Area formula is only radius. You can't go 20 squared times it by 5, 3.14. It has to be radius. So when I'm given diameter, I say, okay, radius then is what? If the diameter is 20, what's the radius? 10, half of it. Now I use the formula. Area is equal to 3.14 times 10 squared. 3.14 times 100, 314 square units. Okay, and if the radius is 1.3, it's going to be 3.14 times 1.3 squared. Which is 3.14 times 1.69, which is 5.3 squared units. Okay, last learning target today, you're going to find dimensions given the area. Again, you use algebra. So I know that area is pi r squared. That's a formula at the heart. That's what I'm working with constantly. Which is 3.14 times r squared. Do you agree with that? Okay, so I'm going to be working with 3.14 and whatever the area is. So what is the approximate diameter of a circle with an area of 102 square centimeters? So 102 is equal to 3.14 times my radius squared. That's going to get interesting here. I need to divide 102 divided by 3.14, 32.5 approximately. If 32.5 is the radius squared, that's not my radius. My radius then is the square root of that. So square root of 32.5 is approximately 5.7. Not done.
Is square root the opposite?
Yep. Square root is the opposite of squaring. Yep. So we're always doing opposites. Now I'm still not done. I need diameter. So if this is my radius, diameter is double that, right? So diameter is going to be 11.4 centimeters. Oh goodness. Hey algebra. That's fun. Yes, it is. I might have jumped right into the depth of it. This might have been the hardest of the three. I don't know. We'll find out. What's the approximate radius of a circle that has an area of 98? So I'm plugging in what I know. 98 equals 3.14 times the radius squared. That's just using pi r squared. And I said pi is 3.14. Now I'm going to divide by 3.14. And that is 31.2. So r squared is 31.2. What's the opposite of squaring? Square root. So r is the square root of 31.2. 5.6. And I just double check to make sure I'm done. And I am because all I want is my radius. We got another diameter one. You try this one. All right, let's test to see if you got it right. Pi r squared is my formula. If the area is 54, then I say 54 equals 3.14 r squared. That's always my first step. This is what I do at first. Then I divide. And I get 17.2 is equal to my radius squared. But that's not my radius, it's the square of my radius. So my radius is the square root of 17.2. 4.1. Now that's my radius, and I always just double check. Do I want my radius or diameter? Looks like I want my diameter. Diameter is double your radius, so 8.2 centimeters is my diameter.